The Midlands, or Central South Carolina, including the Metro Columbia area, is comprised of 12 of South Carolina's 46 counties. As far as places to go, things to do, and great places to live, there may be a lot more to the Midlands than you think. Welcome to Midlands Living and Lifestyles. Stick around and we will discover together the Midlands of South Carolina in the heart of the Palmetto State. Let's start right here in the capital city. Located in the heart of South Carolina, Columbia stands as the state capital, home of the flagship university and the economic engine for industrial and corporate growth. For nearly a century before the creation of Columbia by the General Assembly, the site of Columbia was important to the overall development of the state. The Congarees, a frontier fort on the west bank of the Congaree River, was the head of navigation in the Santee River system. A ferry was established by the colonial government in 1754 to connect the fort with the growing settlements on the higher ground on the east bank. In 1786, a bill was approved by the legislature to create a new state capital. There was considerable argument over the name for the new city. One legislator insisted on the name Washington, but Columbia won out by a vote of 11-7 in the state Senate. The commissioners designed a town of 4 blocks and a 2-mile square along the river. The blocks were divided into half-acre lots and sold to speculators and prospective residents. Buyers had to build a house at least 30 feet long and 18 feet wide within 3 years or face an annual 5% penalty. As the second planned city in the United States, Columbia began to grow rapidly. By 1816, there were 250 homes in the town and a population over 1,000. Columbia had no paved streets until 1908, when 17 blocks of Main Street were surfaced. There were, however, 115 publicly maintained street crossings at intersections to keep pedestrians from having to wade through a sea of mud between wooden sidewalks. Today, Columbia stands as the second largest city in the state and brings in millions of dollars through both tourism and economic development projects, translating into abundant job opportunities. With 7 institutions of higher learning and a top-tier military installation, Columbia is still experiencing tremendous growth and development. Columbia is situated at an approximate elevation of 302 feet above sea level and lies on the eastern boundary of the Piedmont region, where the hilly terrain transitions to the flat coastal plain.
Welcome to Main Street, downtown Columbia, South Carolina, a vibrant hub where shopping, dining, and local culture come alive. Start your day with a delicious coffee or a fresh breakfast at one of our charming cafes. Whether you are craving a classic latte or a unique blend, Main Street has just the spot for you. There are lots of shopping options on Main Street too. Feeling hungry? Main Street boasts a diverse array of dining options, from East Bay Deli to Smoked to Hall's Chop House, Cantina 76. There is something for everyone. And don't miss Soda City every Saturday right here on Main Street from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. where you can pick up fresh produce, handmade crafts, and delicious local treats. Also, bring your dogs. I love coming to Soda City. Every Saturday they have different vendors and food trucks, and Lily loves coming out and seeing all the dogs. It's grown every year. It used to be 1 or 2 blocks. Now it's almost 4 to 5 blocks of the city. All kind of different local vendors, fresh vegetables, and I love the flowers. Oh my goodness, look at this big poodle up here. Lily, look! Look at that big doggy. But she looks like a poodle. Looky there. You're so little and he's so big. The best taco food truck is La Estrella Casey. They have the best homemade tacos. They are very good. We have the Museum of Art. Local events, good history about Columbia. Hampton Street Vineyard is another favorite restaurant of mine behind Sylvan's Jewelry. We have Michael's Catering, Good Life Cafe, vegan food that's very good as well. We have the Grand inside Bowling Alley. Mass General Store has unique candies. My girls love coming in here and buying some candy, kitchen accessories, outdoor clothing, snow, camping, all types of gear. We have the Nickelodeon Theater here. Discover the heart of Columbia on Main Street, where every visit is an adventure and every corner has something new to offer. What'd you say?
Go from feeling hungry.
Okay. Feeling hungry? Main Street boasts a diverse array of dining options from smoked to, what's the name of it?
East Bay.
Okay. There is also the Columbia Museum of Art featuring 27 galleries with multiple, there is also the Columbia Museum of Art featuring 27 galleries with multimedia tours, kids' totes, and galleries games. That doesn't make sense. Kids' totes? There we go. Is that good?
Yeah.
You're like, sure.
We all have a story that involves a night, a concert, or even a festival here in 5 Points. Some we want to remember, and some we want to forget, right? Hey guys, Soda City Realtor here, and I just want to give you a quick rundown on the history of the village, what we now call 5 Points. So before this area was developed, right where I'm standing was all swampland, a wooded area with a creek running through it, basically no man's land. Around 1890-ish was the beginning of the development of Shandon. They continued to work on Shandon along with Wells Garden over the next 20 to 25 years. The wooded swamp area separated these neighborhoods from Gervais Street and downtown Columbia. Fast forward to 1915. City officials decided this no man's land would service the residents better as something other than vacant, swampy woods. After redirecting all the water underground and clearing out this huge parcel of land, the city then extended Hardin Street through the village all the way up to Shandon. 5 Points then became one of the main routes for citizens traveling to and from Main Street back to the suburbs. Yes, Shandon was considered a suburb back then. Fun fact, Shandon was one of the first planned suburbs here in Columbia. Okay, so it's 1919. The village, AKA 5 Points, now has roads, storm drains, and infrastructure. So what's next? You got it. Businesses and retail shops. Anyone know what was the very first business that opened? It was a Gulf filling station right here on the corner of Hardin and Divine. Many of you know this spot to be home to Harper's, but we now welcome the famous Home Team Barbecue in this historic location. It didn't take long for other businesses to join in. Within 2 years, the commercial growth along Hardin Street really took off. This was Columbia's first suburban shopping center. So the 1930s brought in Riley's department store, which is now Jake's. Some of us remember it as Rockefeller's. So this building that we all knew for many years as yesterday's restaurant actually started in the mid-1930s as a drugstore, which turned into a Rose's dime store. In 1939, 5 Points Theater opened, and it was a huge success for many years. You can find the original marquee here on the 600 block of Hardin Street. Fun fact, upstairs, accessed by the alley next to the theater, was a bar called Stage Door. I read where these guys claim to be the first bar in South Carolina to sell a mixed drink using mini bottles. Prior to the 70s, customers would bring their own bottle in and pay a setup fee. With all these amenities coming to one spot, 5 Points was becoming one of Columbia's fastest growing commercial districts. Over the next 10 to 15 years, retailers continued to move in. Columbia's first modern-day grocery store was the A&P. It opened right here where Men's Warehouse now stands. Not far behind was the Winn-Dixie and Colonial grocery stores. Even Sears joined the fun and opened a store here in this shopping center in the 50s. So another fun fact, 5 Points was home to Columbia's first Chinese restaurant, Kester's Bamboo House. 5 Points had become a place of convenience, a gathering spot, a meeting place for families and business professionals. If you were traveling through town or you were a Columbia resident that needed something, you came here or Main Street. So fast forward to the 70s. People were moving out of the city into other suburb areas, and this district began to see a huge increase in students, not only living near and around the village, but also it changed the type of customers that these retailers originally had. This brought in more eclectic businesses designed to cater towards college students and locals, which has brought us to what we now know as 5 Points.
Three, two, one.
So fast forward to 1915, city officials decided this no man's land would service the residents better as something other than vacant. Let's see, where was I at? Does that sound right to you?
That sounds right, yeah.
Okay. No, that did not make sense. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Let's see, let me see.
Join us for our next episode as we continue to discover the Midlands of South Carolina.